Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Nancy Shah, and today I welcome you all for this wonderful session that we are going to have. You are at a Speaker Circle YouTube channel, and today we are going to have poetry recitation. I hope you are here by now. If you are watching us, type your names in the chat box. I'll surely like to welcome you suitably. Hi, we have Sujata. Hi, Sujata. Thank you for joining. We have, okay, Change Maker. Oh, hi. Hello, thank you so much for joining in. Who all are there? Thank you so much for being okay. KD Live. KD Live is joining us right now. Thank you so much, KD, for being here. We have Himank Agrawal. Hi, Himank. Type your name in the chat box or say hi, and would surely like to welcome you all. We have Rahul. Hi, Rahul. Thank you so much for joining. We have Jaideep. We have Sagar. We have Varun. We've got a really good number of people here. And yes, be here for next 30 minutes or so. We are going to be live for next 30 minutes, and there we are going to have poetry recitations. Who all like poetries? Do you like poetries? Yes, no, maybe. If you like poetries, then I think this is the right platform for you, because today we are going to have motivational poetries. I personally love reading poetries, and I read poetries in different languages also, like be it English, Hindi, or even my mother tongue, that is Gujarati. But then it's an art form. It's a way of sharing so many things in just few words. It's beautiful piece of content where you can express your thoughts and emotion in various manner. It is almost in the rhyme, and you feel like singing it sometimes. And there are so many poetries which have got added music, and they have been released as musical samples later. There are many good poets out there. And today we have our members at Speaker Circle who are going to pick up some poetries which are motivational, written by good authors and poets, I would say. And they are going to recite it here. Let me introduce myself. I am Nancy Shah. I'm a trainer, public speaker, anchor, voiceover artist, and founder of Speaker Circle. We started this initiative to help people develop their public speaking skills. We conduct our interventions online, and now gradually offline. We have our next upcoming offline meeting in Ahmedabad this Saturday. So if you are in this town, you're most welcome to join. You can check Speaker Circle All Events page or any social media handles. You'll get the registration link. And if you're not in town, that's okay. You can refer it to friends and family members who are there in Ahmedabad. Or yes, we would surely like to have our offline meetings in other cities very soon. With this, let me tell you one more thing. Speaker Circle is organizing 4 days career development program, Swayam Ek Coach. It is going to start from next Tuesday. We are going to have four different sessions where the purpose of that program is to explore different career options. How to become a voice actor, how to become an RJ, what it all takes to become a storyteller and build a career into it, or what are the qualities required if you want to be successful as an MC or an anchor. Well, these are all the fields which are related to public speaking, where you need to speak from something from the stage, you have to address the audience, you have to engage them. And of course, these are not so much explored fields. Like, we don't get to know more about these fields into our colleges, schools, or universities, or in our surroundings. But these are really lucrative career options, and anybody can explore it. So, with a purpose to help more people, we are organizing this program. If you have not registered for it yet, then my goodness, you're missing a very big opportunity. It is completely free, it is online, and it is going to start from next Tuesday. You'll find a link of a Google form in the description about Speaker Circle. You can fill it up and be part of the program, or else you can go through our any social media handles and find the link of the form and be part of the WhatsApp group, because there you will get opportunity to ask questions as well. With this, let me announce one more thing. So for Shwaya Make Coach, we have got more than 500 registrations by now, and we are looking forward for more. So thank you so much for such a wonderful response. With this, let's start with today's session. I see so many people here. We have Alicia, we have okay, Dancer Kang here, we have Akashdeep. Hi Akashdeep. Hello Arshad, thank you so much for joining in. We have Change Maker who is commenting yes a lot. For sure, we are looking forward for this session. We have Alicia Tambolia, we have Saloni Parikh, Thank you so much, guys, for joining in here. Let's begin with today's poetry recitation. As I said, this time the theme is motivational. So, all the poetries that you're going to hear over here would be a motivational poetry. The speakers have selected poetries on their own as per their preferences. Let me introduce our first speaker who is going to recite our poetry. She's somebody who currently lives in Ahmedabad. She's currently doing her Bachelor's of Arts in English Literature from St. Xavier's College, Ahmedabad. She works with me at Speakers Circle and helps me doing so many things. So if you're watching this live session right now, she has put a lot of efforts in organizing the same. So let us put our hands together for a very charming and amazing girl that I have. That is Zaina Rafique. Hi, Zena.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm really happy and excited to be here.
I am almost dancing because poetries are my favorite things, and we are going to have a poetry recitation today. And we have 23 people who have joined in by now. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So let's begin with session. Our first speaker, Zena Rafiq. We are going to have a poetry recitation from you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. So, as we all know, the theme for today's poetry recitation is motivation. But I thought to take a perspective from emotions, as in emotional motivation, or when you are feeling very depressed and you need some kind of motivation to keep your emotions balanced. So, I'll be reciting two poetries today. One is in English, and the other one is a mixture of Hindi and Urdu. And both have been written by me in a completely different intervals of time. So I hope you enjoyed. The first one is titled Albatross. Albatross, it's a bird, it's a name of a free spirited bird. So that's the title of the poem. I looked into the mirror, asked a reflection of me, what are you so afraid of when you are independent and free? It said, I am afraid of what shall become of me. To which paradise must I go? To which dungeon must I flee? To whom I love dearly, will they stand by me? Will I fight my fear, or shall a coward I be? Shall the time be mine? I hope I never lose faith in Lord's love pouring shrine, shining silver, shimmering ornate. Became nebulous with despair, that shackled reflection of me. It said, life will be fair if I know the best of me. If my own sail I steer, if my own storm I beat, the seas will cry a cheer, the winds shall set me free. So this was written back in 2019, and the next one was written in 2020, and it's in Hindi slash Urdu. So I hope you like that as well. उम्मीदों की कश्ती लिए ख्वाबिदा सफीने की ओर हम थे चल दिए छोड़ उस मुफलिसी के छोड़ चल दो मेरे साथ इस कदर वक्त हमारे निशान ना ढूंढे बेखुदी में हम बहकर अब कोई किनारा ढूंढे कांधे पर तुम सर रख दो संभल जाएंगे ये शीशों के ख्वाब एतबार की बरखा बरसा दो रेत से भर देंगे शहरे आप आओ सींच दे इन लहरों को लबों पर शिकवा ना हो हमारे मुसलसल रखे इन दहरों को बेखुदी में झूमे ये सैयारे. So this I wrote in 2020, and here it does not necessarily mean to a person, but it's like some kind of an emotional poetry where you are looking for emotional support. So I think that's all from my side today, and I'm really excited for what the other speakers have to say. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Zena. So it was a surprise. I was not aware that it was a self-written poetry.
Yeah, I decided to keep it a surprise for everyone. So
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here.
thank
So,
you.
okay, before we let you go, we want to ask you one thing. Like, what are the things that you keep in mind while writing something?
So, firstly, I look for certain words, and it's kind of coming into a flow. So, you know, you have to have like an idea or a concept, or the same concept has to be looked from a different perspective, and then you just keep on writing as it comes to you, as in you keep on looking from that perspective itself. So I think that's how.
So it's not required to be perfect. It's not required to be a
No,
poet
no,
and
no,
get that designation to write something on your own. You just take a
no.
pen and paper, start writing. There are high chances that you'll get something really good across. And that's
Right.
the amazing activity that you would be able to do, and that will give you a satisfaction too. So thank you so much, Zena Rafique, for being here. It was great having you.
Thank you.
So that was Zaina Rafiq here with us at Speaker Circle for Poetry Recitation. Don't go anywhere. We have four more speakers here with us. Let me introduce our second speaker of the day. Our second speaker of the day is somebody who currently lives at Pune. She has completed her post-graduation, that is BA LLB, from Pune University. She is currently a freelancer, self-employed at Orchid Education. She's been in the field of education for more than 15 years now, and she loves reading books, playing music, and playing yoga, doing yoga, and playing golf. She's somebody who is also a storyteller. Let us put our hands together for our next speaker of the day, Anjali Sanghvi. Hi, Anjali.
Hi, thank you so much for a lovely introduction, Nancy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I think before we move ahead with the poetry that you're going to recite, you wanted to
Yes,
say something about the author and the poetry.
yes, exactly. So, hello, good evening to everyone. I'm so glad that you've joined this session. Okay, so I'm going to recite to you a poetry. It's called Daffodils by William Wordsworth, right?
Okay.
And this poet, he started a movement in literature called Romanticism. Romanticism. Okay, previous to that, the thought which existed in England was serious, scientific discoveries. People wrote as if they were writing reports, but suddenly it was not a revolt, but it was all the creative juices of all the artists, they just flung open. So, somewhere in the end of the 17th century and beginning of the 18th century, he wrote this poem. It's about nature, about human emotions, about getting motivated in simple language. I really hope you like it. So, should we recite it now?
Yes,
Yes?
we are all set. Thank you so much. I'm going backstage and giving the stage to you.
All right. So, are we going to have the presentation also, Nancy? We are going to have the slideshow. All right. Lovely. So, Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 I saw at a glance, tossing their heads in merry dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the shining waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant and in pensive mood, they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So that's his picture, William Wordsworth, and that's his home. All right. So William Wordsworth, he had lost his brother John, and he was extremely sad. So with his sister Dorothy, he went to a place called Ullswater in England, and there was a bay. A bay is a little part of the sea which comes into the land. And then they were walking along the bay, and when they turned the corner, they saw acres and acres and acres of wild daffodils. There was a strong breeze coming from the bay, so the waves were dancing and the daffodils were dancing. And what was happening there? There was synchronized movement between the daffodils and the waves. So, what does the poet do? He's trying to raise in the reader the emotions that he is feeling himself. So, from being despondent and sad because his brother passed away, he was suddenly so happy, overjoyed. Spontaneously, he started dancing with those daffodils. What does he do? He uses a lot of imagery. He uses figures of speech. When he says, I wandered lonely as a cloud. So he's calling himself a cloud who is aimlessly walking around. And from the top, he can see daffodils, he can see nature. And then he says, as a cloud, so that is a simile. When he says, I'm a cloud, that is a personification. So he has used simple language unifying human emotions with nature to motivate people that here we lead such programmed lives that when we just step out, we look at the stars at our feet, we see the sky. And then he continues. He uses color, white as clouds, blue as the sky, silver as the waves, yellow as the daffodils. So he is painting an image. Now that's called imagery. Now, he himself used to say that an outpouring of spontaneous emotion, when we think about it, when we are tranquil, that is what poetry is all about. So it was an age of romanticism, and he had started this movement. Now, there were patrons. The kings used to patronize artists. So, music, literature, drama, intellectual thought, it became very liberal. And what happens is this liberal thought goes on to the political thought, the scientific thought. So, there were lots of innovations. This was 1770 to 1850. Those were the years that he was on this earth. And he started writing creatively, supernatural elements, sensory experiences. He started writing about aligning nature with human emotions. And then this spirit is also the universal energy which moves the whole planet. First time in literature, nature was being eulogized. So what happens is daffodils, they created in the mind now to translate for a poet what's in his mind, to give it a form, a depth, a gravity, all for the sake of the reading public. And that is what he was able to do. And he wrote many, many poems on nature. And at the end, when he said, sometimes when I'm lying down on my couch and I'm reflecting, I'm ruminating, I'm thinking of so many things, they flash upon that inward eye. So he remembers those dancing daffodils, 10,000. When he says he saw 10,000, exaggeration. That is called a hyperbole. So, imagery, personification, sounds, dance. Now, synchronized movement is not exactly the dance we see today, which is so beautiful, but synchronized movement with sound, color, and energy in nature. That is what he's trying to portray. So, he's done a great job of it. Do you know that it's the fifth most popular poem in England? And of course, he's written lots of other beautiful nature poems too. So thank you so much. It was beautiful to be with you. And I do hope that I can see you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was not aware that this was the fifth most famous poem in the England. That's a really
It
great thing.
is very
Yeah, and I think the best part of your recitation was you highlighted the pointers that the poet has tried applying into it, like personification or imaginary, or what are the things that he's trying to, or what are the techniques that he has used into making this poetry beautiful. So, yeah, big
yes.
thumbs up to you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It was lovely.
So that was Anjali Sanghvi here with us at Speaker Circle. Yes, we have three more speakers today. We are power packed with full show with you over here right now. So let's move ahead and let me invite our third speaker. Before I do that, there are few people who have just joined in. Let me tell you, Speaker Circle is basically a platform through which you can develop public speaking skills, get connected with like-minded people, and learn and grow together. We conduct various programs, and yes, just one Google form that you can fill to be part of the groups and explore the learnings. It's a platform where you will be able to learn something new. And yes, you can go through this YouTube channel also. You'll find so many videos which are related to public speaking. There's so many speeches. I think 250 plus videos you'll find it here. We go live on this channel every Thursday evening. 7:30 to 8:30, where we do different activities like storytelling, movie review, book review, poetry recitation, knowledge sharing session, and much more. So you can consider subscribing this YouTube channel. I'm sure you'll have fun here. Let's move ahead with our third speaker of the day. Our third speaker of the day is somebody who currently lives at Kanpur. She has completed her graduation, that is Bachelor's of Science BSc from CSJM University Kanpur. She is a student, and she is somebody who loves writing diary, singing, and reading. Let us put our hands together for very enthusiastic and a motivated person, Tanavee Sharma. Hi Tanvi, how are you?
Hello everyone. Hi Nancy.
Thank you so much for joining in here. I think you're doing a poetry recitation for the first time over here, right?
Yes, first time.
Oh, wishing you all the very best. I'm sure you'll drop the floor. So, Tanvi, may I know the title of your poetry?
So the title of my poetry is Don't Quit.
Don't Quit. Okay.
Yes.
And may I know the name of the author?
So the famous poet, the writer of this poet is Edgar Albert Guest.
Okay. And yes, so let's not waste a single moment and start with your recitation. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Hello everyone. Poetry. Poetry is about promoting discussions about things that affect human beings. It is said that the poetry is the best way to convey one's emotions. Today, the theme of the poetry recitation is motivational. Do you know why do we need motivation? Because motivation pushes you towards your goal. We all experience days when we think of giving up. So, today I'm going to recite a beautiful and motivational poem titled Don't Quit. The poem is written by a famous poet, Edgar Albert Guest. He was a British born American poet he, who becomes known as the people's poet. His poems often had an inspirational and optimistic view of everyday life. Today, I am going to tell you one of his famous poems. How I continue this? First, I will recite the poem, then I'll explain the meaning, and after that, I will share my point of views about this poem. So, let's get started. Poem Don't Quit by Edgar Albert Guest. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you are trudging seems up all hill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to shy, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life. Life is square with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, as many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and flattering man. Often The struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems far. So stick to the fight when you are hardest hit. It's when things seems worst that you must not quit. Now I'm going to share what poet wants to give a message to the readers and the listeners by this poem. So the poet is saying that life will go wrong sometimes. Things do not always go the way we plan. Therefore, life also has moments when things go right. Life is like a journey whereby some roads are tough and tiresome. We will encounter changes in your life. Some of them like twist where they are totally unexpected. Every human being can learn this in the course of their life. You are not alone. Others have experienced hard times in life and they have quit. But you don't quit just because you have experienced a failure. Your win might just be nearby. Don't give up. On this road of life, some people will overtake you. Don't quit because your pace seems slow. Don't lose patience. Don't give up because failure has slowed you down. Success comes from times of struggling and not giving up. Success and failure are closely related. Look at your failure as a learning opportunity. Life is unpredictable, but always hope for the best despite that you never know what will happen next. Be optimistic that you can acquire success. If you feel like quitting, then think about why you started. Now I'm going to share my point of views about this poem. So this lovely poem called Don't Quit has always inspired me on my bad days ever since I first read it years ago. It is very well written with simple words and free flowing rhymes and yet with an extremely powerful message that applies to everyone. It's all about determination and willpower to not to give up, especially when things are going wrong. This poem reminds us there are seeds of success in every failure, and that's why we must not quit. I like this poem because it relights self-confidence. At last, I want to say a quote that winners are not people who never fail. They are people who never quit. So don't quit, never quit. Thank you for listening me carefully. Thank you.
Wow, that was so amazing. Thank you so much, Sanvi, for reciting this poetry here with us. I must congratulate you for being so well prepared and you presented it amazingly, extracted a wonderful meaning out of it. And yeah, the quote in the end was really beautiful when you say, no, that the winners are not those who never fail, but they never quit. So, yeah, that's true.
Yes,
No matter what happens, we have to continue with what we want to do. And
yes,
gradually, I think
right,
things would happen.
right.
So, how was your experience preparing and presenting this poetry here?
I like actually I'm very excited to be to do this poetry session. So I was very excited on first I search in this poem in internet, then I'll just wrote down in my copy.
Great. Thank you so much. We would like to have you again over here. Thank you for joining in today.
Thank you, Nancy.
So that was Sanvi Sharma here with us. I hope you liked the poetry. I just loved it. And yes, we still have two more speakers who are going to recite beautiful poetries here. So just be there. I'm sure you'll enjoy and have fun. Let me introduce our next speaker who is going to recite another motivational poetry. She is somebody who currently lives at Pune. She has completed her graduation, that is Bachelor's of Science from Indore University. She is a freelancer, self-employed, having more than 10 plus years of experience. She is a storyteller. She loves reading, teaching, cooking, and much more. Let us put our hands together for our next speaker of the day, Romi Advani. Hi, Romi.
Hi dear, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Little better, so I didn't want to miss it. So
Yes,
I
thank you
thought
so much.
I'm not
Thank you
so
so
well
much for being
prepared
here.
because Nancy, I didn't get
It's
so much
okay.
time.
Let's move
Uh,
ahead with your poetry recitation. As the theme is motivation, what is the title of your poetry?
my Actually, it is the title continuation with just now the girl who read it. Don't quit. आगे का my title is Andhi. It is Andhi. It's in Hindi. The poetry is in Hindi,
Okay.
and it's
The poet.
I have tried to write it. It's written by me.
Oh, it
So
is a self-written
yes,
poetry.
yes. It is about,
Okay, great.
yeah. So good evening, everyone. Today, the poetry is, in today's time, it is a very important poetry. The name of the poetry is Andhi. I'm going to read the poetry, and after that, I'll explain to you what people have gone through. 2 साल पहले पूरे विश्व में एक आंधी आई. नाम उसने बताया कोरोना. आई और बहुत कुछ समझा गई. वो रिश्तों की अहमियत जो भूल गए थे, सब कुछ याद दिला गई हमको. परिवार के साथ समय बिताना, बच्चों से बतियाना जो भूल गए थे, आई और समझा गई हमको. डर डर के जीने का मतलब समझा, ईश्वर से दोस्ती करने का मतलब समझा. सिखा गई हमको ये सब कुछ. कुछ प्यारे हमको छोड़कर चले गए, कुछ निकलकर इस आंधी से घर आ गए. जो छूटे उनकी यादें और जो वापस आ गए उनकी अहमियत समझा गई. अब उसके जाने का समय आ गया है. हम बहुत कुछ सीखे उससे. अपनी आत्मा से रिश्ता जोड़ना सीखे, अपनों से रिश्ता जोड़ना सीखा. कुछ समझा गई हमको. बहुत समय रह गई आंधी, अब तू अपने घर जा. हमें अब जीने की हिम्मत आ गई है. हम अब नहीं हारेंगे, हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और बढ़ते चलेंगे. बहुत समय रह गई. मेहमान बहुत समय अच्छे नहीं लगते. अब तू जा इस विश्व को छोड़ के. हमें अब जीने की बहुत हिम्मत आ गई है. अब तू जा हमें छोड़ के. थैंक यू वेरी मच. It's a small poem about Corona. We all have gone through very, very difficult times. Some people lost their dear ones, some people came out, but it taught us very, very important things, that how important our family is, how important the relationships are. We all are becoming slowly very practical. People come from work and they are busy on their mobile. But by sitting at home, they had so much time that they stopped looking at the mobile and they started dealing with their parents. They started dealing with their children. Sometimes they would go and ask their mother, "Do you need anything?" Sometimes they would ask their children, "Do you need anything? Can I help you sometime?" These are the important things which these 2 years have taught us. I hope we all come out of it and enjoy our life as it used to be earlier and forget about this period of our life, which has been a very tough period. Thank you very much for listening me. I'm very thankful to Nancy to give me this opening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Romi, for reciting this poetry. And yes, kudos to you for writing it down on your own. And yes, as you said, we all have gone through a really tough time within last 2 years. Somehow it has taught us many things, but then it was really a difficult one. But then now हम में हिम्मत आ गई है और अभी कोरोना को बोल दे कि तू चला जा अभी we don't need you
चल
anymore.
जा, अब
Thank you
बहुत
so
टाइम हो
much.
गया,
हाँ
बहुत
बहुत टाइम हो
टाइम हो
गया
गया,
अभी.
अब
I
जाने का
think it
समय
is
है.
gone by now. I hope that it doesn't come back.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
hope for the best. Thank you so
Suddenly,
much for Romi being here.
Nancy,
And
I wrote this poem 2 days back, and today I wasn't feeling well, but I said, no, I must try to. My throat is still bad, but I thought I must try to read it.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
very much.
much for being
Thank
here.
you.
It was pleasure having you.
Thank you.
So that was Rumi Advani here with us at Speaker Circle. And yes, last but not the least, don't underestimate her because she can beat you anybody like anything. Let us put our hands together for our next speaker. Let me introduce her. She's somebody who currently lives in Ahmedabad. She has done her master's in social work from IGNU Indira Gandhi National Open University. She is a yoga trainer at Atman Yoga. She is a mindfulness and NLP coach. And she is in this field for more than 7 years now. She loves reading, writing, singing, gardening, and trekking. Let us put our hands together for our next participant and the speaker of the day, Khushi Jani. Hi, Khushi.
Hello, Nancy.
Thank you so much for being here. I know it has been really tough day for everyone, but then still we are here and we are doing things.
Absolutely, absolutely. आपका जो topic है, that's motivation, and if we cannot motivate ourselves to do something, how are our poetry is going to motivate anybody else? So that's the whole point. I took motivation from my poetry.
Great. Thank you so much for joining in. So, which poetry are you going to recite? What's the title? Would you like to share it now?
Absolutely, absolutely. मैं जो कविता आज बोलने जा रही हूँ, इस कविता का नाम है वीर और इसे लिखा है रामधारी सिंह दिनकर ने. रामधारी सिंह दिनकर आजादी के समय के कवि हुआ करते थे और इन्हें महाकवि कहा जाता है क्योंकि ये उस वक्त बड़ी ही प्रेरणादायक कविताएं लिखा करते थे. तो ये उसी में से एक कविता है उनकी, सबसे वन ऑफ दी, आई वोंट से सबसे, बट एक बहुत ही प्रचलित कविता है ये उनकी, वीर.
ओके ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर चूजिंग दिस. और आज हम खुशी जी से एक हिंदी कविता सुनेंगे जो कि दिनकर जी ने लिखी हुई है. लेट्स बिगिन विद द सेशन. ओवर टू यू.
थैंक यू. ये मेरा पहला स्कूल के बाद पहला अटेम्प्ट है टू रिसाइट अ पोएम इन हिंदी. आई हैवंट डन दैट इन अ व्हाइल. स्कूल में तो किया करते थे, तो अगर कहीं कोई चूक हो जाए तो क्षमा करें. और आई होप कि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी नाराज नहीं होंगे. So, Kavita and the poem, of course, I would like to dedicate this poem to, of course, all the Corona warriors that we've been talking about. इन्होंने जब लिखी थी, इन्होंने हर उस वीर के लिए लिखी है जो सरहद पे लड़ रहा है, जो देश में जो सीआरपीएफ जैसे जो जवान है, जो देश में रक्षा के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. और ये और मेरी तरफ से ये उस हर व्यक्ति के लिए है जो अपने जीवन में ही किसी ना किसी तकलीफ से जूझ रहे हैं, आपत्ति से भिड़ रहे हैं. तो हिम्मत रखें और आई होप कि इस कविता में से आप कुछ अपने लिए जरूर निकाल पाएंगे. तो कविता का शीर्षक है वीर. इसे लिखा है रामधारी सिंह दिनकर ने. कविता कुछ यूं. सच है विपत्ति जब आती है, सच है विपत्ति जब आती है, कायर को ही दहलाती है. सच है विपत्ति जब आती है, कायर को ही दहलाती है. सूरमा नहीं विचलित होते, सूरमा नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते. सूरमा नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते. विघ्नों को गले लगाते हैं, कांटों में राह बनाते हैं. विघ्नों को गले लगाते हैं, कांटों में राह बनाते हैं. मुंह से ना कभी उफ कहते हैं, संकट का चरण ना कहते हैं. मुंह से ना कभी उफ कहते हैं, संकट का ना चरण कहते हैं. जो आ पड़ता सब सहते हैं, उद्योग नीरत नित रहते हैं। जो आ पड़ता सब सहते हैं, उद्योग नीरत नित रहते हैं। शूलों का मूल नसाते हैं, बद खुद विपत्ति पर छाते हैं। शूलों का मूल नसाते हैं, बड़ खुद विपत्ति पे छाते हैं। है कौन विघ्न ऐसा जग में, है कौन विघ्न ऐसा जग में, टिक सके आदमी के मग में। है कौन विघ्न ऐसा जग में, टिक सके आदमी के मग में। खम ठोक ठहलता है जब नर, खम ठोक ठहलता है जब नर। पत्थर के पांव जाते उखड़, मानव जब जोर लगाता है, पत्थर पानी बन जाता है। मानव जब जोर लगाता है, पत्थर पानी बन जाता है। गुण बड़े एक से एक प्रखर, गुण बड़े एक से एक प्रखर है, छिपे मानवों के भीतर। मेहंदी में जैसे लाली हो, वर्तिका बीज उजियाली हो। मेहंदी में जैसे लाली हो, वर्तिका बीज उजियाली हो। बत्ती जो नहीं जलाता है, बत्ती जो नहीं जलाता है, रोशनी नहीं वह पाता है। बत्ती जो नहीं जलाता है, रोशनी नहीं वह पाता है। धन्यवाद।
Oh my God, this was amazing, epic, and mind blowing. You can just look at the comments. People are overwhelmed. Wonderful, Khushi. Thank you so much for bringing this poetry, and we would have missed it if you would have not joined the session today. So, thank you
Pleasure.
for being here. Okay, see, look at the comments. ओके आपकी कविता सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा.
Thank you.
Very inspiring energy. In fact,
Thank you.
everybody has done a great job. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We are overwhelmed with the response that we have got in today's session. So, Khushi, do you read poetries even today?
Yes, I do, and I also write. And because poetry has a very different way of touching hearts, because poets may want to say something, but you may derive your own meaning. Sometimes ये हो जाता है, और ये भी बहुत बढ़िया बात है. इसमें भी कोई गलती नहीं है, कुछ गलत नहीं है.
इनफैक्ट मेरे साथ तो ऐसा होता है. हाँ, इनफैक्ट मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है कि सेम पोएट्री, इफ यू रीड एट डिफरेंट जंक्चर ऑफ योर लाइफ, द मीनिंग विल बी डिफरेंट फॉर यू.
Absolutely. रुडयार्ड किपलिंग की इफ है, दैट्स माय ऑल टाइम फेवरेट. उसे मैं बार बार पढ़ती हूँ, बिकॉज दैट्स एन हाईली इफ इफ इज एन अमेजिंग पोएम. मैं आई थिंक उसके पोस्टर्स बना के लोगों को अपने घर में लगाना चाहिए. इट्स सो इंस्पायरिंग, एंड एवरी स्टैंजा इज इट्स लाइक दैट. तो बिल्कुल बहुत अच्छी कविता. इफ आई कुड रेकमेंड एनी, देन दैट्स द वन.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here, and we would like to see you more.
Absolutely, I'd love to be here more.
So that was Khushi Jani here with us at Speaker Circle. Guys, did you enjoy this poetry recitation session? If yes, then type yes in the comment section. If you have any suggestion, any feedback, or anything that we can do better, please feel free to share. Let me tell you that we go live on this YouTube channel every Thursday evening, 7:30 to 8:30, where we do different activities, be it poetry recitation, storytelling, movie reviews, book reviews, and much more. Well, all the members who just presented the poems are the members at Speaker Circle, and that's why they got this opportunity to be here. If you want to be part of it, you just need to fill up a Google form and get in touch with us. We'll tell you more about what we do at Speaker Circle, and someday you can also be here to recite some poetries or tell some stories. We would like to hear it from you as well. Basically, Speaker Circle is a platform through which you can practice public speaking, share your thoughts and ideas with like-minded people, and learn together. With this, I think we are done with today's session. Let me repeat a few things. We are going to have a career development program which is going to start from next Tuesday. It is completely free. It is online, and you can also be part of it. So fill up a Google form and join in there, where we are going to have different 4 sessions. First session is on Tuesday about becoming a voice actor by Ankur Zaveri, Neshma Chemburkar, and Sanket Madresa. And on 27th, we are going to have RJ Parima. She is RJ with Radio Mirchi Surat, and she's going to guide you on how one can become an RJ and build a career as an RJ. The third session is going to be taken by Geeta Ramanujan. Geeta ji is founder of Kathalaya, like International Academy of Storytelling, and she is a wonderful trainer and a very good storyteller, well known in the industry. She's going to be here with us, and she's going to share her learnings and guide you on how you can become a storyteller too. And fourth and the last session is going to be taken by Sonam Chabra. Sonam Chabra is a social media influencer. You can just check her Instagram account. You'll get to know more about her. She is an anchor, MC, host for different events. She is also a public speaker and TEDx speaker as well. And she's going to be here and would talk about how somebody can build a career into anchoring. So let me not tell you again, but then be part of these sessions. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. And yes, it is free. Muft. They're nothing to pay. But then you should have the interest. And why we are doing this? Just to help people learn different things. That's our core purpose of conducting this program. So I'll see you there sometime during those sessions as well. And yes, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll find something interesting over here every now and then. With this, we are done. Thank you so much for being part of the session. I'm Nancy Shah, and we are signing off. Bye-bye.